Hey guys, good morning. This is Sean Darling and here at Red Spectre Studios, and we're working some more on the mech today. So just enjoy and say hello if and when you can, and I will say hey and answer you back, I hope. Right now I'm just checking out some of the stuff I've done before and trying to figure out what I need to do next. I think I've got this toe that's got more detail, of course, than these guys here. So I think what I may do is duplicate this toe and these parts around. And I think I can do that just with a radial array, doing it the 4 times or the 5 times, 4 times. And just deleting those extras. So that's what I did to begin with. And now that we've got that toe, you know, made better, we're just going to grab these pieces here. Hopefully, no problems. Yeah, so we've got the tread. I think I might have already, yeah, I had tread before. But I was wondering if maybe I hadn't had that tread before. And I'm going to go from the top view. Let's hide. Well, let's just hide some stuff out of the way. I can't see, so that always helps. We will unhide this stuff shortly. Just want to get all this out of my way. I guess I could have went from the side and done this. Like that. Hide. I always look down to remind myself, yes, you are not pressing the delete key. Everything is fine. I don't know if you guys do that kind of stuff, but man, sometimes I totally mess up and say, uh-oh, how far back did I start pressing that delete key? All right, so from the top, I am going to take this guy and the toe pieces here. We will get back to the Falcon soon, by the way. That'll come some more later today as well. I'm going to go with a radial array, and we're going to try and get this set perfectly centered. I'm not sure why I'm not finding my center. Let's turn on the X-ray here and figure out. I believe that's supposed to be it here. And now if I take these down to, like, I think it's 8, or is it 1? It's 7? 6? Yeah, 6. Still does not look like the center to me. So we will undo that. I need to make a little construction line here to tell me where my stuff is supposed to be. So that's center there. Let's find center here. This is our center point right there. So now I can come back here and reselect these guys. So that's kind of it's not an advanced technique, but it's like something a lot of people don't think about, with the basics. So let's go ahead and see if the radial array works now. Let's find the center that I just set up. It should be this, which isn't looking perfect. Let's find out if that works though. If we come down here and go with 6, yeah, that's what we want. So now I'm just going to take these extras, this one, delete it and its bits, because we don't have toes on that side. There we go. So now we have those cooler toes planned out. I'm going to delete the other leg for now. We will re-add, this stuff in later on here. So I'm just going to snag that. We're going to go ahead and take what can be deleted from this other stuff here. I don't want to have stuff doubled over, So I'm just going to grab some of this stuff, just say goodbye for now. It doesn't have to be absolutely everything because you know how it works. We just want to make sure we're not deleting anything we know we are going to need later. So there we go, and there we go. And I think these guys can be just gotten rid of too. Anything that is an actual double, you know what I'm saying? These are all parts, so that's not a big deal there. And this looks to me like I did not... maybe I doubled those before because that's weird. They were still there even after I deleted them. Okay, so now we're going to come through, select everything, and turn it all back on. Sorry if I was offensive at all last night. I was tired and I started making some dirty jokes. It happens. Okay, so we'll just turn this all back on here. I've got a face sheet here. I'm not sure. What is this from? I don't even think that... Oh, that's my duplicate that I just made, so we can get rid of that. Let's get rid of those 2 extra lines we just made. And cool. So now I'm just going to go through it and start just like doing stuff. I mean, I wanted to get those toes around there, so now those look great. I think we need some little rivety things here, some bolts or some what do you call them? I can't even think of what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean. I can't even think of what I'm trying to say. I wonder why. Hopefully that's not a bad sign. Okay, so I'm just gonna make some bolts or rivets or pins or whatever you want to call it. If you're watching, say hello. I'm just here making stuff today. I'm going to now, with this angle here, I'm going to make a cylinder first of all that we're going to delete because this part is already solid. If I make a hole here and I can't, it's going to be difficult to go around and radial the physical hole that I made. So what I'm going to do is make an object, and then we're going to boolean that away from the main piece. So if I just grab this guy, hit W, select the piece I want to minus it from, and go like so, it's now gone. But we need to also do it to this other object because it is a separate one. I'm going to grab that guy. I'm going to go here to my curve or my face mode. Sorry. We're going to click on that. We're going to say W from this guy and now push that through for him too. And now we have a hole through for both of those. Not what I wanted to do though. I just realized, yeah, my whole purpose for doing this was not to do that. Once again, let's get this back. I need to make an actual object, not the hole. So grab that. We're just going to pull this out a little farther on that same axis. And now I'm just going to extrude it through without the minus so that it just comes through as a solid object, because that will be deleted, so not worried about its length or anything. And now I am going to try and radial array that around again. Should have left everything turned off. That's okay. It's easy to do because I can just marquee select all this shat. Just get it out of here. Let's just select objects here. And we'll hide, not delete. And from the top now, we can look at this. We can take our cylinder, and I can do a radial array and find that center again. It was very hard to find before. Oh, great! And now we got rid of our lines. Smart, Sean. Real smart. I don't think that's the line. It's snapping to a line. I just don't think that's the one. Nope. It's going to be somewhere here, kind of in between. We have to put our construction lines back real quick because I am a dork. Let's just do this and undo. And let's grab these construction lines one more time. I'm just going to go from a center here, to a center there. I'm going to leave these on for a bit because you never know. I don't want to have to do this 30 times. So there we go. Perfect. Now we can do this because we know where our center is that we're actually going around. So radial array from this center point here. And now we will have those. And it's set up as a 6 of them. But we're going to delete these 2 extra ones. And what we're going to do then is we're going to delete those guys from both these parts. And I think the easiest way is to duplicate the cylinders at this point so that we can delete it from one, then we'll have it again to delete from the other. It's just a simpler way of doing it. You don't have to do it that way, but I think that the simpler way is better. So I'm just going to Shift D those. We're making a double set of them. And then now we can take this guy and let's just turn off this main cabin portion. It is getting in the way. I'm just going to take that each toe. It's going to take all of them, I think. We're going to Q, and then we're going to minus these guys. I don't know that I can do it that way, can I? That's okay. We'll just Q. Let me make sure that that other one took. So there we go. Yeah, so we just Q this one. I know I'm making everybody fidgety here. Q minus. Yeah, accept. Q minus. Accept. There, Q minus. Accept. And now we can take this guy. We're going to go Q. And then I'm just going to Shift select every one of these guys. And they will minus them from that whole shape now. So now we have the holes going all the way through, which we want. Now in leaving these circles here, we are set up for our pin. And I do chamfers and stuff sometimes just because, you know, these will never be seen. So I'm not going to do them here, but sometimes I do that so that they are, and they look cool. I don't know that I'm even going to make the pin for the middle because these could just be caps on either side, you know. So let's just go ahead and loft from here to here, see what happens. And now we're going to make this a rounded shape. So let me see if it will let me turn down or up the tension. Does that work? It probably wants some form. Let's undo that. Yeah, I'm going to have to probably either put a guide in, meaning let's make a third circle. You're like, what do you mean by that? Well, let's make a third circle. I'm going to turn off the internal or the internal lines there. I'm going to grab this dude. I'm going to duplicate it. We're going to move it in somewhat farther because I'm just going to loft between these 3 shapes. So scale, we're going to pull that out, and then we could look from the front or the side to see where that offset's going to be. And I want this to be like so, I guess. I'm going to grab it, move it forward just a little bit like that, to where it's more in the middle. Hopefully this will loft pretty. And then we're going to grab these in order and click L. And yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we can take this shape and just cap off everything like that. Looks great. And then I'm going to go and take our circles, not the lines, because remember those other lines were for our division of the middle of the foot. We may use those yet again. So I'm going to take this one here, grab its edge and chamfer that in. We don't need to do a bevel on that because there's just no point. I don't know why it's in 3 pieces. We're going to see if that joins up. And then I'm going to fill it, or I'm going to chamfer that in to give us a little bit of separation there, like so, because it will catch light and all the good things. And then I think maybe just one, let's just go ahead and do a fillet, a tiny fillet right on this edge because it helps catch that light nicer as well. And then let's go ahead and push this shape inward a little bit. We could go outward. Maybe we should go outward. Now, we can if we do it as an extrusion. Let's see. If we go this way, we can... Nope, that's not going to do it either. It's got to be an extrusion. So, extrude. We can come out with it. Looks a little more like it's some kind of a pin, I think. I like that. So we'll just go and do that. And then I think I'm going to chamfer that edge to give us a harsher kind of chop there. And then we can fillet these remaining edges here slightly to catch the light, like that. And I think that's going to look pretty good. All right, so that is our little kind of like rivet that we need to duplicate multiple times here, but we're only going to have to do it once. And you'll see what I mean, because we're just going to take that, we're going to Alt exit to mirror it. We're going to go with freestyle, and we're going to mirror it across that here. And we need to click merge halves together. Did that do something weird? I am not sure, but let's undo. And let's do this with a merge halves together. I think I can do that while I'm still in the thing. So we're going to go with Alt X. We're going to click merge halves together, and then I'm going to go with F, pick this line to get that over, and boom. Okay, so we've got those, and I think this acts as now one object, or is it two? It is two, but that's cool. All right, so with both of those selected and everything's still hidden, thank goodness, we can now apply those all the way around the model and delete the unused or unnecessary parts. So once again, we do have our points. We're going to turn on that so we can see where our middle is, and we're going to radial array right around that guy. Let's make sure we're right on it. We are. We're going to right click to accept, and then we're going to delete any of these extraneous ones here. And now we have the foot with the cool pin joint there, which really makes a lot of difference, I'm seeing. That's always a good thing. I'm not sure what else might be kind of cool here. We could put a spike on the foot. Could put, I don't know. Let's see what it looks like with everything else turned back on again, because got to keep checking back and forth, you know, iterate, man. Just see what looks good, take away what doesn't. I think those little pins and stuff really help that foot have the right extra level of detail, you know, that it did not have before. I don't think, I mean, we might put some kind of thing on the bottom for when he lifts his foot up, but I don't know. I don't know. Anything else look like it needs? I mean, this is all mainly mechanical stuff. I'm going to really be careful about hoses that are in moving areas because I don't really want to have to animate them if I don't have to. And I am thinking maybe doing a sort of ridgy thing maybe there. On the back side, I was thinking about making it, and see, this one's kind of like that, stepped. So in case somebody needs to step up on the leg for maintenance, I think it's a good idea. I'm not sure what I might have been going for there. I like the fact that I did that. This one obviously needs the same little wraparound scenario. In fact, I think that is just a copy. So we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that one, I think. Make sure there's nothing on the inside. We're going to get rid of both of these as well because I'm going to copy and paste the other ones and rescale them. Nothing on the inside of that one. So we're going to take this guy, go from the side here, and this just adds our detail that we've already done without having to do it 20 more times. And we're just going to pull this down and snap it to that center. And then we're going to scale it down till we see that ridgy detail, and we're going to need to pull this forward, grabbing and pulling that forward to where it sticks out where it is supposed to. I don't like the fact that those are chopped. I can worry about that later though. And I want to see from the front just how much more or less this one comes out. So let's just get this down to about the same level. Looks good. It's about, it's a little too big for where it's at. So let's just scale it again. And we'll just kind of push this to where it's got some similar spacing around it. I think that works. And we can once again look at from the front to make sure it is the same distance out. It will be more, but it's relatively it is. See, because we've got that little tiny ridge there and there. So that's good. Let's duplicate that again now and snap it to that center and scale it down and get it to match as well. So something to that effect. And then we need to judge it by its size. Judge me by my size, do you? Okay, and that looks good to me. So now we've got this nice extra bit of detail just in those centers. They draw your eye in, you know, where you have more detail. You got to be careful though, because you can put detail all over everything if you really want to, but it's not necessarily going to help your case. It's just going to clutter your eyeballs up really bad. So just kind of thinking. I think some chalked in little bits there. I don't know why I think that. I think it might be kind of cool. Plus, I wanted to put like a little, maybe a hatch door right here. Maintenance, you know. So we just use that as our temporary construction plane. We can also select this and duplicate that. We're going to go in here and click, well, normally B. We're going to bevel those rounded, I think. Yeah, might as well. And then I'm going to scale that just a bit where it fits inside. We could have also done this with an offset curve. So that is good there. And let's take our plane here, the curve anyway, that curve. We're on a temporary construction plane, that's why it is blue. And I am going to grab the center of it and we're going to use it as a cutter. I'm not going to delete it though. So let's go back to our temporary construction plane. We're going to have this unit, and I don't want it to cut all the way through is the only thing. So what I'm going to wind up doing, instead of just cutting, I'm going to use it as an extrusion object and keep the object, if that makes sense. So we're going to do that. And in all honesty, I'm trying to, yeah, I guess that's what I want to do. So we're going to grab the face, honestly. There we go. I keep saying honestly. And what I would like, yeah, we're going to, what do you call it? Cue that. Okay, let me just get rid of that. We're going to grab here. We're going to cue. Nope, we're not. We're going to grab the main object is what we're going to do. Then we're going to cue, and then we're going to, oh, you know what I have to do is I have to make this an actual piece of geometry. So I believe I can just do that by filling holes on this, right? Heat tools, probably. I think they're doing this with B now. Nope. There used to be a way that you could tell this to be just immediately turn it into a sheet. Let's see. There's union, difference, new body. Well, what I'm going to do is I am going to extrude it inward with a W selecting this guy. We're going to pull that inward to start with. That's going to be our little hole, but I want to keep the tools. And then we're going to get rid of the curve. That one. And now we should anyway, have two separate pieces. I'm going to get rid of the construction plane. We have this door. I'm just going to test this to make sure that it is, what do you call it? That it is hollow. There we go. I'm going to put that back where it came from. I'm going to hide that piece real quick. And then I'm going to hollow this piece. But see, I don't want to hollow the entire thing. So, I've gotten myself in a little trouble by keeping this 100% attached. Let's just take this piece and push it back to be safer about that. And I'm just going to go about, you know, somewhere that makes sense like that. It's just a little maintenance hatch. I wonder now, oops, let's just push this back to about right there, maybe a little less like that. And now if I select these faces, if I can offset those, oh, but I need to make another, let me just make another little ridge here. So if I take this and offset this inward like that, we'll have our thickness of the actual unit here. And then I should be able to take all of this, but not that. I just want to take the inside row here. Don't think it works that way like Blender did. Let's see. That's going to select all. That's going to select all. Okay, so I'm just going to do these manually. And with that, when I, at least I hope, when I pull this, push these back, they should recess. There we go. And not make a cut because we're not going to go out so far that they do. And that gives us this sort of recess that looks like the, dang it, that the toolbox has a depth kind of to it, you know what I mean? So right about there, I'm going to right click and good. Looks like we did hold it, so that's good. Now I'm just going to chamfer a couple things. Just grab this edge. This one's not going to need it. We're never going to see that. So I'm just going to, you know, what am I doing? Not offsetting the face. I want this curve. There we go. And now I'm going to round that slightly here like this. Cool. And now we can turn on this door that we had made. Like that. I'm going to round the edge of this door a little bit too. So now you'll see a separation of those two panels. That looks much cooler. And I'm going to put a little handle, but I think all the handles on stuff like this typically get recessed, I think. So let's use this as a temporary construction plane again. We're going to draw out what that needs to look like. So I'm just going to go make a, and that's fine to do it from here. Just a little recess. I don't know how big a man's hand is compared to this, so I'll just, you know, make a judgment. And let's see. Yeah, that's probably okay. It doesn't even matter that much, but just enough to get a recessed area in here. I am going to do this in a probably a more odd way by what am I doing? What am I doing, Sean? Oh yeah, here we go. Just gonna take this. We're gonna extrude that out there. And it won't be this large or anything. What I'm going to do is Just make a slanted cut here to start with. From here to here. And now we'll grab, yeah, I guess that still works. Grab this and cut it using this, which did not go in the right direction. Cut it and use this. Okay, we're going to need to go from the plane. So let's undo that one. Cut from here, please. Thank you. And we're going to get rid of that. Not sure I am doing this exactly the way I want to. And you know what? I did the opposite. So let's get rid of this piece. There we go. That makes much more sense. And we're going to get rid of those curves real quick. This and this. And then I'm going to take the object. Let's get rid of the temporary construction plane. We're going to take this door. We're going to Q, and then we're going to use that to get rid of what we're doing. So, but let's move it in place first. I mean, come on. And let's use V to say, hey, use it along that axis. By the way, if you didn't know you could do that, you can. This is way too sharp. So one more bit here. Let's push. Let's just chop that end, I guess. We'll take this edge here, and we're going to push this in. I think that'll look pretty cool even with that angle. Doesn't hurt my feelings. And now I'm going to grab that. We're going to move it. So I'm just kind of going as I go, making it up as we go. V, use this surface to determine where it pushes. Put this in place about there. And then I'm going to take here, Q, get rid of that, and boom. We just wanted a recess. It took forever for something so simple, but hey, you know, there are worse things. And let's round those guys. Let's round all of them. So I'm just going to see about dragging. It's going to get internals. Just the ones we are going to be selecting here. I don't want anything on the other side of it, of course. This is just going to be a small little fillet to, you know, soften that edge a little bit. Like that. Cool. We don't know exactly where the handle is yet, but you get the idea. A matter of fact, I could put the little handle if we really needed to, kind of like a door latch from the inside. So let's just take this guy now. I'm going to offset a line internally from it. Looks good, I guess. We're going to take this and just pull that straight out. And I kind of want this to angle down now, so you can, believe it or not, don't think you can do that with that. I think you have to rotate that now, like this. There we go. I do want to scale that face a bit to where it's smaller from here a little. I don't think that's working either. So let's go ahead and just move edges. I think we can. I think you can move that edge. Still simple enough that it's not going to horribly destroy anything. So we do this, we scale. That is not letting me scale though. Interesting. Scale, that's just filleting. Why? Different. Okay, so we'll move them manually. Grab, go in a little, grab, go in a little. You can notice it's pulling out the top while it's moving the bottom in. That's a little weird. All right, cool. And then I'm just going to take this and pull this down and taper it. That should be an extrude like this. And we should be able to scale that at the bottom now, like that. Maybe a little bigger so it has some thickness at the bottom edge. And then, of course, we can come in and fill it, you know, whatever, to our heart's content, as they say. Something like that, a little more ergonomic. Maybe even these two. Could even round it off completely by doing this full here. Don't do this full. Okay, and we're going to select that edge and that edge. This should work still. Pull those out to something like that. Nope, that didn't. It's because we have some redundant topology, I'll bet. So let's grab the... So I kind of grabbed the whole door. Of course it is. I did not separate this piece, which I should have. Dum bum bum bum. I'm gonna see about a man about a horse. I did not realize until last night that that meant I need to go to the bathroom. Is that weird that I didn't know that? So I gotta go see a man about a horse. That meaning I have to go take a dump. That is what that means. I'm totally blown away by that. But I didn't know that. I thought, for years, I was like, well, what does that actually mean? And I never looked into it. Weird. All right, so there should be a separate here, and I don't remember. Offset, raise degree, rebuild. Let's see, there should be a separate or a extract. Extrude. Can you cut and paste them, I wonder? That is a good question because I don't really know. So let's go Control C. Nope. Control C. Nope. Cut solid with curve. Mirror. Boolean. Scale. Maybe if I duplicate it. So if we Shift D, that should be its own separate piece, I think. So I'm going to hide it. And then we're going to take these and delete those. I believe we can do that. Or not. Okay, there's a few being deleted. Not really doing entirely what we need. And I'm going to take this edge, see if I can just push that back up in here. I mean, to some degree you can, I guess. I wonder if you could delete this in face and make that work. Sort of. Push this across, maybe that will work, at least to some point. Okay, we'll accept that one. See if we can do it again. Fine, that works for me. As long as it's out of the way. Then we can turn this back on. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. It's there. And now we need to make that a solid, which we did. I'm just going to call this handle because I'll come back to that later probably. It's possible. And grab all the edges. And as Pixel Fondue says, I don't want edges for everything. How do we not select everything and only this? So I guess we can solo this. How do you do it? Alt-click it. Alt-click, Control-click the visibility. Shift-Control-click the visibility. Solo it. How do you solo it? He wondered. I don't want to have to click everything else. That's kind of silly, is it not? I'll figure it out. So we go here. I'm just going to hide all that. Is there a solo button? Said Han. Okay, well, that's all I needed anyway. So with that there, like that, I'm going to grab all the curves. And we will put a little fillet, just like they say in good old Pixel Fondue. That is not working. So let's take this and maybe delete the redundant topology for starters. I wish there was something much simpler here. Let's go ahead then, if that doesn't work. Not grab all edges, but just grab, let's say, these two curves at the bottom, which should also work. That's all I wanted right there. Perfect for now. Cool. All right, so I don't like any of this stuff happening, but it is what it is. I think I might actually be able to get rid of those edges. Let's find out. No, you cannot. Cool. Okay, well, it's fine for the moment. Let's go ahead and turn everything back on. I know there's got to be a way to solo these. And I don't understand the difference between this lit and this eyeball. What is the difference? It doesn't say, you know. So let's grab the rest. I'm going to have to go look in the documentation, I guess. It's like having to look at a map. Okay, anyway. And who needs maps? We got Google. There we are. Back, and we have a handle on our cool little door here now. And I thought it might be cool, too, to actually put a little kind of, I don't know, warning or some crap, you know what I mean? Temporary construction plane, there we go. Let's just draw out a square. I'm just going to use the one like that. And we'll just pull that forward a small amount to give it a little dimension. Not that this detail needs to be 3D. This could just be a sticker, but I like the fact that if it is, that means it's trying to think of my words here. It means that it's an actual like metal plate on there as opposed to something else. So let's just round the corners off here now of it and then extrude it out a little bit. There we go. Good enough. We can put a couple rivets on the sides of that too. Let's just go back here. And we can just make a couple of, let's make a circle, kind of here. That's a little big, so let me undo that. Turn on our X-ray. Make a smaller one. So you're just going to be like little rivets that just hold the sign on during battle. You know, we don't want that to come flying off and somebody doesn't get their warning and OSHA is called in or something. All right, so that needs to now move. So we're going to go grab. We're going to snap it to this surface here. And now we can make our hole and our rivet. We don't need a hole here, though, to be honest. So let's just make the rivet. And there's a couple different ways we can do it, but I'm just going to extrude this guy out and round over the edges a little bit. We could even chamfer those edges instead. So if I grab that and, oh man, it gets confusing. Too many lines. And I chamfer that back in like that. We could then, look at me trying to get too detailed about a rivet. But hey, if you're not willing to, then what are you willing to do? Say, hey guys, there's a chat, if you want. So I'm gonna go here, W, we're gonna remove it from here, and I'm just gonna push this like that. It's not gonna go all the way through because we don't want it to, of course. And then I'm gonna get rid of the any curves we don't need, like all that. And go kabam. Turn off the X-ray, get rid of the construction plane here for the moment. Turn off the X-ray. I know there's a toggle, what is this shortcut? Alt-Z. So that looks pretty good. I don't think we need, listen to me, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to put a little tiny bevel right on that edge. Just to catch the light. Okay. And then now we're going to quadruple those. We're going to put those where they go. I'm just going to grab here. And we're going to snag that object here. That one. And we can... I don't think we need to array those. So I'm going to Alt-exit. Right across this piece. Boom. good. And then we're going to take both of those and Alt-X those this way. When you have a temporary construction plane, it doesn't look for the center of the world to do that. You can do it locally that way. Okay, cool. So there is that. I think that looks pretty good. Not sure. I guess that's sort of a maintenance hatch. Tells you what, careful, there's high voltage or something in there. And then we've got whatever these things are. And we could put venting maybe on the side of that. That might be kind of cool. The way I would do it, yet again, we're going to go to a temporary construction plane here. I am going to make a rectangle, I guess. And this one's not going to fit to start with. It's going to be turned the wrong way. But that's how it is. And we're just going to line this up as best I can, like so. And grab it and move it into place like that. Yeah, I think leaving it short keeps it from looking like this one. And so with this, I'm going to duplicate it because we're going to use it to punch a hole in the side of this. And let's go with duplicate that curve, and then I'm going to take said curve, and we're going to grab this box. I'm going to Q and grab, okay, for some reason it's not grabbing the curve. Let me move it out. It's probably embedded in the side there. So just move it out a little to ensure that we have distance. That one now is one we want. So we're going to go from here, grab the object. I'm going to go Q, grab the curve. It is not letting me do it. Why? Oh, probably because that's just a curve. I'm going to need to actually make a building of that. So now we go into Q, and now we select W, this guy, and pull this in, and we will get our cut in there. I'm going to delete this curve now. We didn't need to. I thought we did for some reason. And with that, okay, that's what we want. I'm going to go into our construction plane again. I think, yeah, I'm just going to scale. Can I scale this locally? V, right? There we go. I'm going to scale this way. Like that or something, I think. I'm going to then move it locally as well. Like that. Okay, I'm just going to try and take a look at what I'm actually doing here. Where am I? What box? Oh, that one. Okay. And I'm just going to make a little panel like that. Maybe a little more. There we go. We're going to rotate that. Object mode would be good. So let's rotate it. Temporary construction plane we got to get rid of. So we're going to take that object now. And it is not wanting to rotate. I have not seen that one yet. Maybe my keyboard stopped working. Hang on. My favorite thing in the world when it happens. And it does. It's some kind of driver issue. And I'm going to take that now and rotate. There we go. This doesn't matter exactly which axis or which edge you use, as long as it is rotating around one of them like that. Just going to kind of get a look at that. I'm going to get rid of that curve. It's very confusing. And I think that may be okay. because those can close and they'll pivot from that little angle there, I think. Also, just wondering if I shear that here, does that make those look cooler, thinner, better, or worse? And I think the top of this one can get a chamfer happening like this. Chamfer bing. And maybe a tiny one, or we'll just use a tiny ones here. Like that. Maybe even a smaller one along these edges. Just kind of notch those in a little bit. And then we'll do a cool thing and use our rectangular array. Decide which direction this is going to come down. I don't know why it is not following a correct path. It's only going to the side. That's weird. Why you do this to me, dammy? Let's look on the cube here. There we go. We just want to go from here to here. I think that's enough. Maybe we'll make one less, like 7 of them, to just give us a little space in between like that. I think that looks pretty good. We could take the entire grouping and move it a little more upward this way to where it has that little space at the bottom. I'm going to hide this bottom one real quick so I can see that bottom edge. Push this down a little bit. Unhide. Oh, did that not work? Let's push that down just a little more. We will right click, good. And then we'll turn on that other one here. We should have enough room for a little bit of gap there now. Also, hopefully, gonna take these edges and do a offset of those from around here, and there we go. I love when it actually works. Something like that. Cool. It's got a nice rounded corner I didn't even plan, because I guess there was a rounded corner on that. I don't know. Very interesting. I didn't do that, but I'll take it. And then we're going to take this face and pull this out to give us a bit of a ridge there. And then this edge I'm going to round over just slightly like that. And then the internal one I will round over slightly as well. Trying not to increase the polygon count too much, but remember, this isn't for a game. I don't care. Cool. That looks all right. Maybe some little rivets. Rivet here as well. So let's grab a circle. Just kind of go right in the corners here like this. Don't want to get too crazy, but we're never going to survive unless we do. That was a Seal song, by the way. Cool. Grab the edge. Never going to survive. You love it. You know you do. And let's just go ahead and see if we do a full... it doesn't want to. Normally it will full round that. I don't know why it's not, but we'll just keep that. Looks fine. And those are tiny. I don't think I like them. So I think I might just chamfer those instead. And do a little hole in the middle just like we had over here. Let's put on from the front. Sometimes it cannot find the the center unless you do that. And I'll grab this, move it here, say W to extract it from that piece and push this in. Boom. And then if we wanted to, we could add another. Did I use that East Coast term? We could still fill it that a little bit like so. I think that's fine. So now I'm going to go from the side here and probably go with use this as my construction plane just to say. And then I'm going to grab this dude, and I don't think the rectangle array is going to work the same way, but we could go with 4 or 5 of these, maybe 4. I like the 5, that's cool. That way, duplicate them, of course, and move them here. And then we could rectangular array, probably both of these, I think. And yep, that works beautifully. Put those here to there, maybe. It's a little bit pinched in. And then maybe knock this down to 4. And then we could take these and these. I don't know if this is going to squish or not, but we're going to try. And V will go from here and separate those out slightly like this, and then grab the whole bunch and move them back along this axis this way. I think that looks good. So now with that, we have a vent and a box, a little toolbox. Things just seem very basic shaped here now, so I'm just going to start playing a bit. Something that may work, I don't know. So that's some of the issue too, is I don't want to cut through everything, you know. So I'm going to make a couple of isoparms, or at least one isoparam, whatever they call them in here, by selecting this face and going, was it Control R, and getting my, is that, yeah, there it is, and maybe making a panel kind of separation here, and do another one along this face, and yeah, something like that. And then doing, well, in something like this, I probably can, let's undo those because I put the top one in the wrong place. Let's take this. I'm going to, I want to do a split along this one here. So Control R, got that, and we tab to get the other direction. And I'm just going to stick that guy right here. And the reason being, let's see what this is doing in the back here. We can possibly pull this forward. Nope, we need to extrude it. So let's do that. And we're going to extrude. And it won't because we're missing that section there. But we might be able to if we had this in the correct direction. So let's change the angle. Nope. Let's change the pivot of that. And then try it. And that's going the wrong direction as well. Let's try it once more. Extrude. And what I need is it to go out and not that way. So if we go V and I try to find its own, I mean, that's better. So let's try this. And it's not going to do it. It's because of this weirdness up here. Dang nabbit. I'll deal with that shortly. I can just probably make cuts along it to counter that. Let's see if I can just kind of do that. So with that, I need to do a Control R, trying to bring me a little split right about here. We'll do another one up here. This should work. So grab that face, Control R, do another one, you know, maybe to match that line. And then this should be able to extrude with no problem. I don't want to offset though. I want to actually do an extrude, I believe. It's going to try and grab its own face here. Let's see if that works. It does extrude in that direction, but it's not doing it. I kind of want it to do it uniformly. So undo. This would be more of an offset, but I don't. I kind of wanted that edge to not do what it's doing now. So an extrude would be better. However, I don't know how to get it to extrude in all directions, like from the normal. I may wait on that. I don't want to do that all on camera and bore everybody in the world watching with that. Now that I have that, I can make this a small, smaller section here. I think that's what I want to do by Control R, getting me one of these bits. I'm just trying to make some panels here, if that makes sense. So, like so. Nope, that did not work. Control R. Maybe it's Shift I'm looking for. Just trying to get this to be a little more finely placed. There we go. It just keeps snapping. I could turn the snap off, I suppose, but let's go there. And let's do another one here. And just like so. And I want to maybe do a panel right here. So Control R, Tab. So maybe like that. And that way we can extrude or offset this one some. And I'm just trying to make panels, you know what I mean? Panels. Let's go out here. Right click here. Right click this one a little higher than that one, but that one will need to be an extrude or stay lower. So let's undo that. And I'm going to extrude now. Of course, it makes a little weird separation between the two, but hey, it's fine. Let's go ahead and try to chamfer the edges of that. That will at least, I don't know, give it a little sense of something. And instead of chamfering, let's just round them slightly. It catches the light so much better, and I think we have polygons for days to play with, you know. I'm a ZBrush dude, so if I can handle that. Let's do this, and this, this, and this, and this. Just trying to give us a little nicer shapes here while I'm looking at it. More often, I mean, usually I do this more methodically, like I'll just go and do every single thing, but right now, why is that not working? Probably because we have these internals. No reason why it shouldn't be, though, to be honest with you. Let's go in and maybe deselect. That's a weird shape. I don't even know how I got that going in there and being so strange. Can I find it? There it is. Let's just do these outside ones a bit. That looks nice. And it did take, so that's always a good thing. I wonder if I can pull that face back down here and have it just fill in. No, that's going to do that. Cool. All right, not a biggie. Good, good. I don't like these just simple posts. That look, it's not good. So what I might wind up doing is notching these down and stuff by selecting this and doing a little this guy and going Control R, Tab, trying to get a little difference here, and we can go Control R, Tab again, maybe like here. So many things in the way, but that's okay. And I'm going to select this, push this in a little skinnier because I do not like it overlapping the rest of that. And this can be like so. And then this can be either out, probably out, yeah. I don't know why that keeps not accepting, but right click, good to go. That looks much better, I think. Do the same here. Control R, that gives us a loop cut basically. Down to here. And then I can take this surface, push that in slightly. Then we'll do another one here. Grab that, pull it out, and that's what it's all about. All right. Grab these. I think those should be chamfered first off, like this. And then if we want, we can come back in and give those a little fillet on there. Like this. Just a small one. That will just increase the ability for the sun to shine off it. These obviously need them all the way around. I gotta start thinking about that. And we'll just pull this out a little bit to get these not too far. We only want small ones. I think that will help. These did not get them before, so that needs them. Just slight little dudes like, maybe like that. Guess I didn't get this top in, so we'll try to see if we can do it after the fact. And those were not fillets, those were chamfers. So let's go ahead and grab these now that we can. And pull those out. Slight little fillet going on there. It looks nicer. It's not entirely done. See if I can grab these, or if that's too many to get. I'm gonna have to get these as well. And down here, just pull those outward slightly. And then of course, this whole bit, I hope it lets me. Just a real small one there. Nice. And then of course, this one should give us a nice round on the bottom of that. This one should, well, that's just going to the bottom, so let's go back. We'll grab this, this, and these. Probably have to do that also on the outside. Yep, let's see if we can do them all at the same time though. Wouldn't hurt my feelings. How about yours? Nope. Okay, good. All right, and now we'll see how it works. Just pull slightly, and we're getting it, and right click, and good to go. I like that. That looks much better. I don't know if you can tell, but when we do add something like the this and the edges off, you can really start to see these nice highlights on the edges. Yeah, that looks pretty good in comparison to what I did. Our little door there is looking great, even with the little thing and that vent. These need something. I don't know exactly what they are, what they're for, but we're about to sort that out. And I'm thinking maybe, I keep imagining these with little insets on the side. And no, I didn't say the word you think I said. Let's just go like this. Ain't no uncles and cousins here. All right, and we will do an offset inward. See how far we'll go. That looks good. We'll just start there. I'm going to make these go internal instead of external. So I'm going to push these to this side and then go to the other side and do the same thing without pushing them all the way through. Just slightly over. Okay, and then I think maybe these now here should get some kind of ridgy sort of pattern. I'm going to see if I can do it to yeah, we'll have to cut them all the way through. So these should be separate objects. No, and no, they're not. Cool. Love that. All right, so the way I'm going to do it is make a cutter instead. So we are going to grab this and offset it like that and like that. And I probably do need to join this here to get a plane. And once we have that little plane that I can use, where am we doing this on? What am I doing that on? That is on this guy. I'm going to grab that whole little curve here. We're first of all going to join them. And I'm going to grab them and snap it over to one of these edges. And I know there's a way, and I can't remember how to snap stuff or duplicate it along a curve. So I guess I'll try. I'm going to select this curve and duplicate that curve. And I think I can take this and then I can curve array, I think is what it's called. So we're going to go here and go curve. And actually I should probably just put in array because there's going to be a lot less things. Curve array. And then I'm going to select my curve. And look at that. It's almost like I knew what I was doing. We're just going to make these a lot more. Maybe like that. And then I'm going to grab all the faces of those, I hope. What would be nice is if we could get rid of all these internal lines. Don't know that we can. I'm pretty sure we can. So with the trim tool, it's going to go like this. It's going to take forever, but totally worth it. because this is going to let me make that little, and I don't even know if I need this trim tool to do this. If we need to trim these is what I mean. But I don't want it to be wrong when we, you know, sweep that across. Because it is going to be a boolean. So if I don't select all these pieces, I'm going to wind up having to select all the shapes anyway. I don't know. Maybe I could have combined those. I do not know. Let's just keep going here. Most of the time I'm like, well, let's try it. But today I'm a little less inclined. Why, you say? I just am. Just going to get rid of these. None of those will affect it because they're all pushed off to the back. These really don't either, but I just want to make sure they're clear enough that there's no chance of it. If you guys are watching, please say hey. I'm just here hanging. I like to hang with people and talk as I'm doing stuff, so have no fear, mon frère, which means my brother. Mon frère, frère. You gotta get that throaty kind of thing going on there. This, yep, can go. This too. We're gonna turn on X-ray so I can see those dudes, even though we barely can see those dudes. Cool. Let's get the rest of this. And good. All right, so with that, hopefully it won't look like crap and have all that work for nothing. I'm gonna grab these right here, and I'm gonna push that, or I'm not, Okay, well, let's join the curves. Maybe that is our problem. Just going to turn off the X-ray. Just kind of, oh my gosh. We're gonna have to hide the other stuff is what it is. Oh, I deleted it. Don't do that. Hide. I hate when I accidentally delete something and then I panic. Oh my gosh, what did I do? All right, so that row, that curve also needs to be deleted because it no longer is needed. That's a little rhyme for you guys. Needs to be deleted because it's no longer needed. Okay, and this we can keep. And now I need to try and join those, which they absolutely won't. Cool. And as you can see, the problem is some of these are not even connected. I'm going to see what I can get away with here. This is probably going to take 12 years to do, just like the last ones. Oh, you know what? We could do that. That helps so much. Like this. And like this. That way we've got one, you know, continuing solid shape here and not a whole bunch of weird overlapping ones, which throw the whole thing into chaos, basically. It will never work if we use that like that, because there's some inside and outside and upside down. You guys remember that, right? That book, did that get erased with the Mandela effect too? I don't know. But it is the Berenstein Bears. I don't care what anybody says. There's gonna just start selecting and selecting. Because I remember asking my mother, is it spelled like said like Stein or Steen, when I was like a little kid. And she said Steen. So why would she say that? Why would I ask that if it was spelt stain? And it's not. I jumped timelines. I know that for a fact. I know I did. So many things were different. People liked me. There's that. Just kidding. Yeah, I was a celebrity. Okay, so with that, we are done trimming. Now I'm going to try and extrude this across and make this a much bigger or much cooler dude here. So it does work finally, so that's a good thing. I'm going to get rid of that curve though. Look at all these curves, crazy. All these, we'll just get rid of all of them. And I'm going to now extrude this side or offset out this side out. You're like, but why, Sean? Why? Well, this is a cutting tool, for those of you who don't know. We're going to now go back in and turn on all of these shapes that are off, hidden, like this. Boom. And now I'm going to take that cutter and cut these guys out. Let me just move this over now to where it's covering all of them. And we're going to go boom. Got to make sure that is not in the bottom there. I just realized. I mean, if you don't like it in the bottom, you should not have it in the bottom. Okay, I think that is... Yeah, that should start there. This should not start here. So I'm going to cut this with a curve. From here. And it doesn't matter where here because that's going to get deleted anyway. We're just going to have these little chops into it like that, I suppose. We can move that closer if we wanted, but it may be cool. It may look like crap. We're going to find out. So let's take that. We're going to take this guy and cut it with that line, which may work. There it goes. Delete all that. And now we're going to use that as a cutter for this. So Q, that erases. We go like so, and we're left with these. So I think that worked out really nicely. Really nicely. And let's undo that. It may kill me for doing that. And I should have done this before we even pulled that out. So let me go back. This is the part I hate because it's more work than we need to be having. But let's just go back here. Those sharp points shouldn't be, in my opinion. So let's just grab the curve. And I think we just do this to all of them because, yeah, because we can. And we're going to join those again. Should be joined, I believe. Let's just check. And yes, we are. And then I'm going to take my little fillet tool here, if it will cooperate, which it's not. Lovely. Let's see if we can just at least fillet the points of these. Yeah, we should be able to do that. It gets weird when it's an internal or it's inside and outside, you know, tension on the curve kind of thing. It may work with that end curve or that end point. I don't know. Let's just see how well this can handle it. And pray, pray, pray. It looks good. You see what I've done here. I've either rounded them. I think we should fillet them though, or chamfer them, I mean. I think that's okay. Let me just see how far these go in now, because we don't want to use those top points, because that will... Oh, actually we do. We only want to use those top points. There we go. Come on, Sean. Get it together, bro. I never say that word. Not anymore. Not since I was 12. Dude, I say a lot. For literally everything. Hand me that, dude. Dude. Of course, everybody does. We just want the top peaks. That way we can chamfer, you know, where they go in. So we'll grab this. We will say now, chamfer please, like that. And that way we're not chamfering the distance out of them. I think that's what we wanted to do. And now, of course, I will go back to this mode, pull it that way, and get rid of the curve, and pull it this way as much as it needs to be. We'll turn on all of our pieces that are off. Just going to come back up here and bring everything back. So now we should be able to, yep, safely delete. We need to also chop the bottom, I just realized, of this whole thing. So from the side here, just on this piece, I'll just make a cut from here and just straight out, it doesn't matter. We'll cut that piece with that, delete these pieces like before, and then we'll take this, we will cue it with this, right click, and we are done. That looks way better. So now they have, you know, some nice gear-like pieces there, and I think that just looks better. Not sure to do if anything needs to be done with the inside and outside of those, but I think that looks kind of like a nice different sort of, I don't know what kind of bracing, but I think it works. And I'm wondering if this toolbox should feel more separated or integrated, and I think separated is going to look a little bit more mechanical, which I dig. I'm just going to test. Yeah, it doesn't want to. I'm going to have to wind up separating that later, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, I like panels. It's a very leftover Star Wars thing for me. Let's throw maybe a bit of a panel in here. So if we take that whole piece, use an offset curve on it, decide how far we're going to do it. Some of these take a lot. So now we're going to have this area that we can turn into a little raised panel. Not bad. Probably should have offset or curved those edges. So I'm just going to grab those, fillet the corners with actual curves, probably maybe that big. It's not horrible. I'm going to fillet this while I'm here looking at it, because it's pretty awful when it's so sharp. It's a small fillet. Looks nice. Maybe these guys need a small one. Like, Sean, you're just adding so many polygons to this model. It's like, yeah, but it's not for a game. It is not for a game. Game of life. All right, cool. I'm okay with that for the moment. I'm going to probably do these top edges. I do not like that being so sharp. I wish there was a radial selection. Now that would be kind of cool. But I'm just going to have to select these individually to start with. And it's alright. It's meditative, right? It's not like I don't have anything in the world to do. Hopefully you guys are liking this. We're about an hour and a half in. I'm going to probably stop here shortly. Unless you guys pipe up in the chat and start talking to me. Ask some questions or something, or give me some suggestions, or tell me my hair looks ridiculous, which I already know. I think that that looks much better. It looks a little more like a grip surface. Panels, 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 man. Gotta love panels as well. Cool, cool. I think one, kind of almost like a panel that encompasses these guys. Just they feel a little disjointed, you know? So what if I go from here to about here? Don't know if you guys knew that, you know, you could do any of this. If you don't, well, congrats. I hope I've just helped you out. I'm going to make these chamfered on the corners like that, and then pull that up slightly here. Makes those slightly more subtle too, I think, in a way. But it gives them a bit more, I don't know, like they belong, if that makes sense. There is a cool tool I'm thinking of that I don't know if I have or can use at the moment, but I'm going to try. That's not how I wanted that to be. There should be a, what is it, tab? Which is the reverse of this to get it in a different plane? I guess just rotate it 90. That's all I can imagine. So we'll just go 90 here. And I'll just pick like a 45 or something along that. And then I'm going to make another circle, I guess here. Like, nope. That needs to be a line. Oops, dang it. This needs to be a line from the center. Coming up right here. Just a bit. And then coming out. Pretty 90-ish, you know, pretty much a 90 degree from it. If I have to, yeah, knew that was going to happen. Grab it. We're going to go out like that. You can shift or select a point, shift, and then when I move this one, it should reference that other one. No? Maybe not. Okay. Either way, it still works. We're good to go for the most part. I'm going to just push that slightly out more. And then what I want to do here, also that needs to move forward some, is to take that point and also join, make sure these curves are joined. They are. So I'm going to take this point and fillet it. And then take this dude and we're going to sweep along this. And you're going to say how much and how wide, but that doesn't seem to work. Don't know why. I don't know why that didn't work. Revolve, sweep. Sweep is supposed to work. So I'm going to sweep this and this. And there is no guide. And this doesn't seem to be working. But why would you need a guide if you had the two parts? So if I go sweep, grab this, and use this as my guide, I'm thinking that should work. See, that should also be able to do a sweep. And it's not. And why do I need another curve? I don't need another curve. Maybe it's just too tight of a curve. So if I made this a little smaller, perhaps, then it can sweep. I'm just taking shots in the dark here. We're going to go with the sweep along here. Unless, of course, the sweep needs this spine selected first as a guide, and then this. We're going to sweep that face along that spine. And I'm just going to say okay, and it's not going to work. Okay, well, I don't know why that wouldn't. We could loft two of those together, I guess. Grab that dude. You have to have two. That makes no sense that that isn't working. It's almost like they are not in the same space or something. Let me see. Grab. I'm just going to snap that right. Perfect center. There's no reason, I don't think, why this wouldn't work, but you guys get to see all my failures. Sweep along that. Yeah, to be honest with you, I guess I have no idea. Now, oh, it did work. Why did it suddenly work? Because I pulled this scale up, isn't it? It is. Well, hey, every now and then something does work. Great. Okay, so is this parallel work as well, or is it only the normal that works? Just the normal. Perfectly fine with me. It's kind of where I wanted to go with this. Now check this out. I thought it was pretty cool, but you can take this bridge curve, I think it's called, and go from here to here. And it makes essentially a pipe. And then if you want, you can use, I think, piping on this should be perfectly fine. and you can now have a hose that goes from here to here. In fact, with that done, I think it is possible that I can... Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so that's that. Then I can obviously make this a bit smaller and use that as another kind of little gasket end here. Let's pull that up however it needs to be. In fact, I'm going to rotate it. Not like that, not taper it. Maybe slightly. And then rotate it using our, I guess V. I could do the free, but I think I'll just rotate it from its own edge like this and like this. Cool, works for me. Yeah, that works. Let's see. So if I want to, I can also select this face, maybe make it a little bit larger. So just by, is that going to work for us with this setup? Probably not, because that's already, oops, did I crash? I think I crashed, guys. Cool. Well, I will come back to you guys